If you're doing small size knotless braids and you have no idea of how much hair to fit in, this video is for you. I'll be breaking it down using the 38 inches expression extension. I'll be walking you through how to part the bundle, how to split the hair to make sure they are equal, to get equal sizes of small size braids all through the head. I'll also be walking you through a demonstration of what the small size looks like with the extension that we split. So stick around and let's get right into the video. My name is Dilly and I'll be walking you through this video with the split and fill technique. What is the split and fill technique? So the split and fill technique, just as the name sounds, is you split the bundle, you fill the bundle you already split just to check if they feel the same. It works like magic. It registers in your brain after you split the bundle and you fill it. So when you fill both of them, you split, you know if they feel equal before you continue. So for small size knotless braids, one bundle gives you 20 braids. So we're going to start from one bundle here for small size knotless, and we're going to divide it into 20 braids. So we start by splitting the bundle into two. So you put your hand in the middle of the bundle and then just split. After you split, you need to fill each bundle to be sure that they feel equal. When you feel it, you know if they feel equal. Like I said, it registers in your brain. So this is the first half of the bundle we split. So from this first half, we're going to split into 10 pieces because we're trying to get small size braids. So we get 10 pieces from this first half and 10 pieces from the other half. And then we split the first half into two equal pieces. We fill it, we keep one aside. Now we're going to split this second half or this quarter into 5 pieces. So I do this breakdown to be sure that they are equal. I split this into 2. And then now I need to split this into 3 pieces. So this is how I split for small size. I split each quarter into 5, and in order to get 5, I first off split the 1/8 into 3, and then the other 1/8 into 3. So the right one feels smaller. So I'm going to take from the left one and add to the right, just to make them feel equal. Now I have 3 equal pieces from the first 1/8. I'll take the other 1/8 and I'll split into 3. I try to make sure they are equal while splitting. So I'm gonna get 3 braids from this 1/8 plus the other 3 braids will give me 6 braids. And I know you might be wondering, I thought you said 5 pieces. We're gonna get there. I'm gonna show you how to transform those 6 pieces into the 5 pieces. So I split the second 1/8. I feel it to be sure it's equal after I split it, and I keep one aside. I split the second one, and you have to feel them while you split, and if anyone feels smaller, you need to take from the one that feels more into the one that feels smaller. So that's basically what the split and fill technique is. So when you feel it, it registers in your brain. If it doesn't feel equal to the other strand you split, you need to reduce from the bigger strand into the smaller strand. Now we have 6 braids from our quarter. Next thing we want to do, we will take one of the 6 braids. So the 6th braid, we take the 6th braid and then we divide that 6th piece into 5 pieces. So the reason why we do this is because we want to get 5 equal braids from a quarter. So we went into 6 and we're going to divide the 6th piece into 5 and then add the 5 pieces we're going to get from this one strand into the 5 pieces we initially got. So this is the third one, this is the fourth one, and the fifth one. So now we have 5 equal pieces and we have 5 other strands. So we're going to add the 5 small pieces into the original 5 pieces we got from the quarter. So I'm going to add now to the original 5 pieces just to complete or to make our 5 pieces from the quarter even. And we're going to also create five strands from the other quarter, making it 10 strands, and then we would also create 10 braids from the second half of the bundle. From this quarter we're going to create 5 braids. So 5 plus that 5 would be 10, and then from this half, the second half of the bundle, we are going to create 10 braids, which makes it 20 braids for small size knotless braid. So now that we have split one bundle into 20 strands, let's prepare each braid section for our 5-piece fitting. So I like to fit in 5 pieces of hair for knotless braid, and I'll show you how I get these 5 pieces from one of the 20 braids that we created. So this is one of the 20 braids we created from a bundle, and we're going to divide this into 5 pieces for fitting. So I start by putting my hand in the middle and I separate it. So now I have 2 sections. The next thing I'd like to do is I try to get 2 more sections from each of the strands that I just split. So I'm gonna get 2 sections from this one, 2 pieces from this one, 2 pieces from the other one. I put my hand in the middle, I split one of the pieces again into 2. I take the second piece and I split into 2. So now we have 4 strands for feeding. Remember I said I like to feed in 5 braids. So how to get the 5th piece for my feeding, I'll take one of the strands, let's say I take the 4th piece, and I'm going to split that into 2. I split this into 2 because when I feed in for knotless braids, I like to feed in 5 pieces, but the strand I feed in on the root as my first feeding is usually the smallest piece. So I'd feed in the first smallest piece first on the root, then I feed in the second smallest piece, then I feed in the remaining 3 regular strands, which makes my 5 braids feeding for knotless. The reason why I feed in the smallest strand on the root is because I like to protect the client's natural hair. It also helps to keep the braid looking flat. So I don't like to braid from the natural hair when doing knotless braid. I like to first feed in a very tiny piece, which is our smallest piece first at the root, and then I feed in the second smallest piece, then I feed in 3 regular strands, which gives us our 5-piece feeding for knotless. This helps the knotless braid to be very seamless, to be very neat from root to tip, and to be very proportional from root to tip. Some things to note is that there are some cases where you would adjust the amount of hair you feed in. Sometimes when you're feeding in, the hair may feel like some parts of the hair may have less hair than some part. For example, the middle part of the head usually has more hair than the back or the front. So for cases like that, when the client has thinner hair at the back and more hair in the middle, for me to make sure that the back braids and the middle braids are the same size, I may go as much as feeding in 6 pieces at the back that has the thinner strands, and then I'll feed in 5 pieces at the middle, like 5 very small pieces at the middle where the client has thicker hair. Sometimes I also do feeding in three strands based on the look the client is going for. So something that works is ask the client to show you a picture of what you're looking to get, and when you see the picture, you can pick and choose how you want to feed in. Sometimes if the client has thicker hair, you would want to feed in less hair. So let's say if the client has thicker hair, you can go by feeding in three pieces. So you feed in the first 2 small pieces and then 1 regular piece, would give you your 3 pieces you would feed in if the client has thicker hair. But if the client has normal density of hair, you can feed in 5 pieces. Whatever really works based on the client's preference or the person's preference, go for it. Now it's time to see everything we've learned in a live form. So this is our small size braids. We split into 3, and then we cross the middle strand to the left strand to the right, and the right strand to the middle. Next thing we want to do is we feed in our first small piece. We feed in that between the index finger and thumb. So you see how I said I like to feed in the smallest pieces first. So this is me. Once I braid once, I feed in the smallest piece, and then when I braid the second time, I feed in the second smallest piece, which we divided. Feed in between the index finger and thumb as well. Then my 3rd braid, 4th braid, and 5th braid would now be the regular strands that we got from our 5 strand split. So now we feed in the 3rd one, now we feed in the 4th one, and then we feed in the 5th one. Like you feed in under to hide the hair, the piece of hair you are feeding in. So now you see the root as it looks seamless, it looks small, and you can't really tell the difference between the hair transition and the extension transition. That's because I fed in the smallest piece at the root. So that's how I like to feed in for knotless. I do not start the knotless from only the natural hair. I feed in the smallest piece at the root, then the second smallest piece next, and then I feed in the 3 regular strands. So you see how the strand looks equal, the strand looks like the same size. There's a seamless transition on the strand from root to tip. So now this is our small size on the whole of the last row. We have all of them looking very equal, very seamless. The transition from the root to the braid strand to the tip is very seamless. That's because we used our split and fill technique and got the same size of pieces of hair for feeding all through the head. So that's the power of the split and fill technique. Plus, feeding in the smallest strands at the beginning is a game changer when you're doing knotless braids. Hopefully you've learned something from what we just did today. So this is how I basically feed in for small size knotless braids. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any question, you're trying out this style, you're struggling, any question at all, please put it in the comment section. I'll be very happy to help you. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video with a friend. You may have a friend who may need to see this video. Please share this video. It helps YouTube recommend our channel. Again, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.